If you've noticed your arms feeling weaker when reaching for items on a high shelf, or your legs trembling after a short walk to the mailbox, you're not alone. These may seem like small changes, but for many adults over 60, they are the first quiet signs of a condition that can profoundly affect independence, sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. Sarcopenia doesn't announce itself suddenly. It creeps in, often undetected, as strength subtly declines and mobility becomes just a bit harder than it used to be. You may start finding stairs more difficult, lifting groceries more strenuous, or even standing from a chair more demanding. And while these physical challenges are frustrating in themselves, they also bring something deeper, the emotional weight of vulnerability, and the fear of losing control over your body. But the truth is, muscle loss after 60 is not inevitable. In fact, your body is still capable of maintaining and even building muscle, given the right nutritional support. While exercise is important, what you eat, and more specifically, what nutrients you fuel your muscles with, plays a crucial, often underestimated role. The foods you choose can either accelerate this silent loss or help you fight it. Today, we're going to examine the specific superfoods that medical research supports as especially beneficial for combating sarcopenia, not for the general population, but for seniors like you, whose bodies process nutrients differently than younger adults. This isn't about trendy ingredients or miracle claims. It's about science-backed nutrition tailored to the real, biological needs of aging muscle tissue. Let's begin with something often misunderstood: protein. Yes, protein is essential at any age, but after 60, your body's ability to synthesize it into usable muscle declines significantly. This is known as anabolic resistance. Simply put, the same piece of chicken breast that builds muscle in a 30-year-old may not have the same effect in a 70-year-old. Your aging muscles require more protein, more frequently, and in more biologically accessible forms. Enter eggs, and specifically, pasture-raised, whole eggs. Unlike processed protein powders or red meat, eggs provide a complete amino acid profile in a form that is easily digested. The yolk, often wrongly vilified, contains choline, which supports neuromuscular function, and vitamin D, which helps regulate calcium, a mineral critical for muscle contraction. In older adults, especially those with limited sun exposure, vitamin D deficiency is strongly associated with weaker grip strength and accelerated muscle wasting. 1 to 2 whole eggs a day, if tolerated and approved by your physician, can be a powerful daily foundation for muscle preservation. Next, consider wild-caught salmon, a true powerhouse for aging muscle. Unlike leaner meats, salmon delivers omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which reduce inflammation in muscle tissue and help restore muscle protein synthesis in older adults. Inflammation is a major, often hidden contributor to sarcopenia. Chronic low-grade inflammation, common in seniors, silently breaks down muscle fibers and inhibits their repair. By including salmon 2 to 3 times a week, you not only supply high-quality protein, but also dampen the inflammation that accelerates muscle loss. Let's also talk about something green, not lettuce or kale, but microgreens, especially broccoli sprouts. These are rich in a compound called sulforaphane, which recent research has shown may help activate cellular pathways involved in muscle regeneration. More than that, sulforaphane has been linked to increased mitochondrial function, which essentially means better energy production at the muscular level. For older adults, whose energy levels often decline alongside muscle mass, this can translate into greater stamina, improved balance, and even faster recovery after physical activity. Now, while proteins and anti-inflammatory agents are central to the fight against sarcopenia, you also need to support the connective structures that hold your muscles in place: tendons, ligaments, and collagen networks that become brittle with age. That's where bone broth or collagen-rich stews come in. When slowly simmered, these foods release glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, which help replenish collagen lost due to aging. Importantly, glycine also has a calming effect on the nervous system, which can benefit seniors who experience muscle tension or nighttime leg cramps. A cup of homemade bone broth a few times a week not only nourishes your muscles, but also your joints, skin, and even sleep quality. We also can't ignore the role of magnesium, especially as it pertains to seniors. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which relate directly to muscle contraction and relaxation. Deficiency in magnesium becomes more common with age due to both lower dietary intake and decreased absorption efficiency. The signs can be subtle: increased fatigue, nighttime muscle spasms, or even chronic constipation. One particularly magnesium-rich food, and one well tolerated by older digestive systems, is pumpkin seeds. Just a small handful provides a significant portion of your daily magnesium needs, along with zinc and plant-based omega-3 south. For those managing blood sugar, a critical concern in sarcopenia, pumpkin seeds also offer fiber and protein that slow glucose absorption and prevent insulin spikes, which are known to interfere with muscle repair and increase fat deposition. Speaking of glucose and insulin, let's briefly explore the hidden link between insulin resistance and muscle loss. Many older adults experience a gradual decline in insulin sensitivity, often without being diagnosed with diabetes. This makes it harder for cells to absorb the glucose they need to fuel muscle contractions and recover from stress. When muscles don't get that fuel, they begin to shrink. One way to combat this is by including low glycemic, nutrient-dense carbohydrates that are digested slowly and promote insulin sensitivity. Among the best, steel-cut oats. Unlike instant varieties, steel-cut oats are minimally processed, preserving fiber and beta-glucans, compounds that improve insulin response and gut health. For seniors, this translates into more stable energy throughout the day, better nutrient absorption, and a reduced risk of the sugar crash that often lead to weakness or falls. And finally, let's revisit something many overlook: hydration. Muscle tissue is nearly 75% water. Yet as we age, the sense of thirst diminishes. Even mild dehydration can contribute to muscle fatigue, cramping, and impaired coordination. This is where coconut water, in its natural, unsweetened form, can play a role. It contains electrolytes such as potassium and magnesium, which help maintain fluid balance within muscle cells and prevent the subtle dehydration that often goes unnoticed in seniors. Unlike sugary sports drinks, coconut water provides these nutrients without spiking blood sugar or overloading the kidneys. All of these superfoods work not in isolation, but together, forming a nutritional web that supports the aging body in multiple, interconnected ways. They provide the building blocks your muscles need, the hormonal support your metabolism demands, and the anti-inflammatory protection your tissues rely on to stay resilient in the face of time. The importance of high-quality protein becomes even clearer when considering the body's diminished ability to process and utilize amino acids with age. After 60, your muscles respond less efficiently to dietary protein, a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. This means that simply eating the same amount of protein you did at 40 or 50 is no longer sufficient. To counteract this, older adults require more protein per meal, delivered in a way that supports both muscle repair and daily physical functioning. Among the best protein sources for aging bodies are fatty fish such as wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These are not only rich in complete protein, but also abundant in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These compounds exhibit strong anti-inflammatory properties and have been shown in clinical studies to enhance muscle protein synthesis when combined with resistance activity. More importantly, they help reduce the chronic, low-grade inflammation often associated with aging, which contributes to the progressive decline in muscle function. For seniors with joint stiffness, reduced mobility, or conditions like arthritis, these anti-inflammatory benefits can be profound. Incorporating oily fish into meals 2 to 3 times per week can have a measurable impact on your ability to. Another exceptional superfood for seniors facing muscle loss is Greek yogurt. Unlike regular yogurt, the strained preparation of Greek yogurt leads to a much higher protein concentration, typically delivering 15 to 20 grams per serving. More significantly, it is rich in leucine, an essential amino acid that plays a key regulatory role in initiating muscle growth. In fact, leucine is often considered the most critical amino acid for combating sarcopenia. For older adults who may have difficulty chewing or digesting tougher meats, Greek yogurt provides a gentle, palatable way to maintain protein intake while also supporting gut health through probiotics. This is particularly relevant because aging often comes with a decline in digestive efficiency. Maintaining a balanced gut microbiome can enhance nutrient absorption, improve bowel regularity, and moving beyond dairy, eggs represent another near-perfect protein source for seniors. Each egg contains roughly 6 to 7 grams of high-quality protein, with the yolk offering vital nutrients such as choline, vitamin D, and B12, all of which are essential for muscle health and neurological function. Choline supports communication between nerves and muscles, while B12 deficiencies are common in older adults and can directly contribute to muscle weakness, numbness, and poor coordination. Vitamin D, as well, deserves emphasis. A considerable number of adults over 60 are deficient in this nutrient, particularly those who spend less time outdoors. This deficiency has been strongly associated with decreased muscle strength and an increased risk of falls. Eggs, therefore, provide a simple, affordable, and digestible way to support a broad spectrum of health. Equally important is hydration, though not a food per se. Water facilitates every metabolic process in the body, including protein synthesis. Dehydration is surprisingly common among seniors, often due to a decreased sense of thirst or concerns about frequent urination. Yet even mild dehydration can impair muscle performance, reduce stamina, and increase the risk of injury. Including hydrating foods such as cucumbers, oranges, and watermelon can assist in maintaining fluid balance, particularly for those who may not D. Finally, it's worth addressing the importance of micronutrients, particularly potassium and calcium, which play vital roles in muscle contraction and bone maintenance. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard provide these minerals along with vitamin K, which supports bone mineralization. The interplay between bone and muscle cannot be ignored in older adults. Sarcopenia and osteoporosis often occur together, leading to increased fall risk and extended recovery times after injury. By supporting both systems simultaneously through targeted foods, you reinforce the FU. As this overview shows, muscle maintenance in your 60s and beyond is not simply about eating more. It's about eating smarter, choosing foods that offer dense, synergistic nutrients that specifically serve the aging body's needs. Every bite matters. With the right approach, you give your muscles not only the fuel to grow, but also the biological environment they need to. One of the most empowering realities about muscle loss after 60 is this: it is not inevitable. While the biological process of aging does naturally lead to some decline in muscle mass, your lifestyle, and specifically your nutrition, plays a profound role in how much strength you lose, how quickly it happens, and whether you can rebuild what's been lost. You are not simply at the mercy of time. One of the most important choices you can make today is to take a second look at your daily plate. Are you providing your muscles with the amino acids, vitamins, and minerals they need to rebuild? Are you eating at regular intervals to stimulate muscle synthesis throughout the day? Are you combining your nutrition with at least moderate movement, even a short daily walk or light resistance exercises? These questions are not about judgment. They are about reclaiming your body's potential. Imagine two adults, both in their late 60s. One eats a modest breakfast, perhaps tea and toast, then has a light salad for lunch and a heavier dinner with some protein. The other begins the day with Greek yogurt and fruit, adds a boiled egg mid-morning, enjoys grilled salmon and quinoa for lunch, and finishes with a warm lentil stew and sautéed greens. The second individual is feeding their muscles consistently, balancing protein across meals, and including nutrient-dense foods with anti-inflammatory properties. The result: not just better muscle retention, but stronger bones, steadier balance, clearer thinking. This matters not only for how your body feels today, but for your long-term independence. Sarcopenia is often invisible in its early stages. You might notice small signs: a harder time rising from a chair, increased fatigue when walking upstairs, or a subtle wobble in your step. These can be easy to dismiss until a fall happens, or you find yourself needing help with tasks that used to be simple. Nutrition is your early defense. It allows you to stay ahead of the curve before medical intervention is needed. But it's not only physical. The emotional toll of losing strength should not be underestimated. For many seniors, muscle loss can feel like a loss of dignity, a shrinking of life's possibilities. Activities that once brought joy, like gardening, cooking, or dancing, become more tiring, less accessible. This can lead to withdrawal, isolation, and even depression. But restoring your body through food can become a source of hope. Every nutrient you give your muscles is also a message to yourself. I'm not done, I still have stamina. It is also important to understand the relationship between muscle and metabolism. Your muscles are the largest site of glucose disposal in the body. This means that the more muscle mass you maintain, the more efficiently your body handles blood sugar, a critical factor for seniors managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Superfoods that support muscle health, therefore, are also protecting your metabolic balance. Likewise, protein-rich meals tend to enhance satiety, reducing cravings and helping with healthy weight maintenance, another important piece of the puzzle for aging well. And here's a crucial note for those living with existing chronic conditions, whether it's arthritis, cardiovascular disease, or reduced kidney function. While dietary adjustments should always be discussed with your healthcare provider, the principles of muscle-supportive eating can still apply. In fact, for many, improving nutrition is part of the broader management of disease. For example, lowering systemic inflammation through omega-3-rich foods like fish, walnuts, or flax seeds may reduce joint pain and improve mobility, which in turn supports more cons. One area that often causes confusion among older adults is protein timing. Many seniors consume the bulk of their protein in the evening, often too late in the day to fully support muscle synthesis. Research now suggests that spreading protein intake evenly across all meals is more effective for stimulating muscle repair and growth. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. That might look like an egg and Greek yogurt at breakfast, a tuna salad with quinoa at lunch, and a portion of chicken or lentils at dinner. Spacing it out ensures your muscles have a hydration, too, should not be overlooked. Water plays a pivotal role in muscle contraction, joint lubrication, and nutrient delivery. Even mild dehydration can lead to weakness, dizziness, and impaired coordination, all of which heighten the risk of falls. Including water-rich fruits and vegetables, such as cucumbers, strawberries, and tomatoes, can assist seniors who struggle to drink large volumes of water. Herbal teas and broths also count toward hydration and may be gentler on sensitivity.